The Beckoning Cat, based on a Japanese folk tale by Koko Nishizuka and illustrated by Roseanne Lizinger. The Beckoning Cat. Long, long ago, a young boy named Yohi lived with his father in a village by the sea. And every morning, when the sun peeked out over the ocean, he got up and went to the port to buy fish. He then sold the fish door to door, carrying them in 2 wooden barrels suspended from a pole balanced on his shoulder. Yohi worked hard, but he was still poor. That looks very heavy. When his father became sick, Yohi worked even harder to earn enough money to buy medicine. But he could only carry 2 barrels of fish at a time. He sighed and wished he could sell more. One rainy evening, as Yohi was cooking rice at his home, he heard a tap at his door, and when he opened it, he found a cat shivering in the rain. Her white fur was splattered with mud. She meowed, asking to come in. "A poor stray cat," Yohi said as he let her in and dried her with a towel. After serving dinner to his father, Yohi took some rice and half of the fish from his own meager plate and fed the cat. When she finished eating, the cat jumped into Yohi's lap and rubbed her soft white fur against him. Yohi's stomach growled with hunger, but her purring made him happy, and the next morning, the cat was gone. 3 days later, when Yohi was in a village selling fish, his neighbor Masa came running toward him. "Yohi, come home. Your father has a high fever." Yohi hurried home, carrying the barrel still heavy with the fresh fish. When he arrived, the cat was standing by the door, but Yohi went right to his father. He put a cool, damp cloth on his father's forehead, and once his father was comfortable, Yohi looked at the fish and sighed. "What shall I do? I can't go out and sell today, and the fish will spoil by tomorrow." Suddenly, there was a knock at the door. When Yohi answered, a young woman in a colorful silk kimono stood before him. "Hello, how can I help you?" Yohi asked in surprise. "Are you a fishmonger?" she asked, pointing to the fish in the wooden barrels. "How funny, a cat calling a customer to a fishmonger." She laughed lightly, covering her mouth with her kimono sleeve. "What do you mean?" Yohi said. "Isn't she your cat, the white one? As I left my sewing teacher's home, she meowed at me." After taking a few steps, she turned and waved her paw as if to say, "Come here." She was so adorable that I followed her. Yohi was stunned, and he told her how the cat had first visited him. "What a remarkable cat," the young lady said, smiling. "She must have called me here to buy your fish." Then she asked him to wrap 3 fish for her, and bowing, Yohi thanked her. Soon after, Yohi heard another knock at his door. When he answered, he saw an old man who owned a large store in a nearby town. "Hello, sir. What brings you here today?" Yohi asked, surprised to see the rich merchant visiting his humble home. "So it was your cat," the merchant said, his eyes widening. "She must have heard me talking about fish." "About fish?" Yohi asked. "This morning, my daughter-in-law had a baby boy. I wanted 10 large red snappers for a party I'm going to give in my grandson's honor. And as soon as I left home to look for a fishmonger, your white cat came by and meowed, beckoning me with her paw." He waved his hand, mimicking the cat. "I couldn't help following her, and here you are with all these fish." Yohi was so astonished that he told the merchant about his father and how the cat had come to his home. "My goodness, she's calling customers on your behalf," said the merchant. "I never heard of a cat repaying a kindness. These days, even people forget to show their gratitude." And then the merchant took out a silver coin, enough to buy a whole barrel of fish, and gave it to Yohi. "Here is the money for the snappers. Now you keep the change and take care of your father." Yohi thanked the merchant over and over with deep bows. One after another, people came to Yohi's home, invited by the cat. By the afternoon, the fish in both barrels were gone. and the customers praised his cat and promised to come back the next day. In this way, Yohi was able to sell his fish while taking care of his father. From that day on, the white cat lived with Yohi and kept inviting customers. People came from far away just to see the beckoning cat. Yohi sold more and more fish, and soon he was able to open his own shop. His father got better thanks to the medicine that Yohi was able to buy, and all the other merchants wished they had a cat as clever as Yohi's. And that is how the beckoning cat became a good luck symbol in Japan. People began to make porcelain cats holding up one paw like Yohi's cat. Merchants of all kinds put them in their stores in the hopes of bringing in new customers and welcoming old ones. So the next time you go to Japan, or even an Asian restaurant in America, look for the beckoning cat perched on the counter. If she is there, you will know why. So you've probably seen these in restaurants. This is one that I have, and they almost always have a paw, and some of them even have paws that move. So now you know the story of why they are there. Have a great day.